how's it going? LWJ Jockey here. Welcome back to Chocobo Stallion. And yeah, the title of this episode is Racing and Planning, or Planning and Racing, depending on how you want to look at it. Speaking of racing, looks like Noto is been registered in a CRA race. I'm not sure which one this is. If it's a G or not a G. It's a CRA. So it's a Chocobo Racing Association one, so this should be interesting. To be honest with you, I don't expect anything exciting from Noto. I don't think it's going to win this. And the reason why I say that is I've been playing this game on and off for the last few weeks, and pretty much when you start getting into what they call the open races and the G races, you really need to have strong Chocobo to do that. And a lot of these Chocobo, like even the ones that I caught in the wild there, I mean, you can tell by the gill. The more money that you can sell them for, the more they're worth in the sense of, then the more that their attributes are, and they're just better. So we're probably, don't expect anything out of it. So just very quickly here, before I do that, we're going to do the race first, and then we're going to talk about how racing works in this. I've taken over some of the training myself with some of my 4-year-olds. I didn't like the way that the trainer was just sort of, stalling, basically. I was trying to get them optimized as quickly as possible, but the trainer was using a method where he was giving them light training to keep them locked into a certain area, but they've already gone past their peak. And so I took over to bring them back to their optimal, and hopefully that'll work. I've got some in the hot tub. I've got all my 3-year-olds hanging out in the hot tub. I did have my broodmares try earlier to breed a couple more, but it wasn't successful. The prices were too low. I think they were in the 70s. I think if I'm going to have any chance at all, they should be in the 80s, definitely in the hundreds. Like I was watching a YouTuber, and he basically, I think how he does it is he breeds, and then he retires them. He doesn't even race them, and then he builds the bloodline, and then from there creates like 100 gill ones and all this. And I mean, yeah, you can do it that way, but what's the fun in that, right? You want to race them, so. And speaking of race, let's check out this race. Like I said, I'm not expecting it to produce anything, but you never know. I mean, hey, we do have some gill. I have lost some gill. I've gained some, lost some. We're fine, though, financially. I'm not too concerned about our situation here with this ranch. So let's get to the next week, and then we'll see how this race goes. I believe so, or maybe not. Unfortunately, didn't happen. Well, that's good. So, yeah, make note of this. This will happen. If a Chocobo, you can go one level up from your grade, I guess. You can enter into races. We'll talk more about it in a bit, but this will happen, and this isn't the first time it's happened. As you can see, Shroma's not too happy. It didn't, we weren't registered in it, but that's okay. It's no big deal. In fact, I didn't expect the Chocobo to win anyways on that, but that's fine. We'll see about something else maybe. Let's take a look at racing and planning, and we'll use this situation to do that. So let's get ourselves into some sort of cool little icon image there. You can just see all the Chocobo being happy doing their thing. All right, so when it comes to racing and planning, right, in Chocobo Stallion, there are what they call different classes, all right? And you might have seen at the beginning, there's this pyramid. This is called the race class pyramid. You will probably see this in a lot of Japanese horse racing games. It might vary by value. this, of course, being Chocobo Stallion, it's not horses. It's a little bit different. I'm going to talk about the Chocobo Stallion side of it. But when you finish with this, you'll sort of have an idea how it works with, Japanese horse racing games in general. So yeah, you got this pyramid. Way at the bottom, you've got the new feathers, and all the way at the top, you've got G1s. Obviously, the goal is to get to G1s, right? That's what you want to do. You want to get those kind of races. It's up to you, right? If your goal is to just do some breeding, that's cool too. These kind of games are open to a point where maybe even the racing side isn't important. You want to breed a really cool chocobo. I don't know. It depends on how you want to approach it. So here's the thing. Now, how the Chocobo's racing class is calculated, right? How is this done? This is where it might get confusing. But really, it's not. Just like with breeding, and if you think of the Chocobo that is currently running as Generation 0, thinking in a certain way would make it a lot easier to figure out how the ranking's done in this, right? It's almost similar. So how is this racing class calculated? Well, it's all done by the prize money, all right? That's what it's done by. So when you're entering a racing chocobo into a race and it places first to third, the owner, that's you, earns prize money. Okay, you understand that. You know that, right? You can see that in various, if you look at various race conditions, that kind of thing, it shows you what the prize money is. So prize money, or the money, is also used to calculate the class. So there are two types of money when it comes to Chocobo Stallion and even Japanese horse racing games as in general. You've got two terms. You've got total and you have added, all right? So yeah, so you'll see those pop up. Now, total. The total amount of prize money awarded to the racing chocobo that places from first to third. Right. And then, yes, that's the money that the rancher gets, the owner gets, you get, right? Now, to be honest with you, until you get into the G's, that money's kind of low, right? You make more money off the betting. So, and you've probably noticed that if you watched my previous videos on this. Now, there is a 35 gil participation fee, and that's not included. To be honest with you, that 35 gil, that's nothing, right? If you're having if you're desperate and that 35 gil is like important to you, then you might want to restart your game because that's nothing. So don't even worry about that, right? I think that's like I said, participation fee, and it gets recycled back to you at the end, almost like a deposit, I guess. Right, so yeah, you got the total. But then you also have this other thing called added, which is the main prize money. This is the money that is added each time a chocobo wins first place, all right? So this is the prize money used to determine the racing chocobo's class. And it is not money the owner actually receives. Now, it gets a bit confusing. Well, what do you mean? You're getting more money, but you're not getting it? Something like that, right? The best way to look at it is, I don't look at it as money, I look at it as points. That's the way I see it. So, if a chocobo wins first place, you get all this money, and you get these points. And you can't spend points. Well, at least, in this particular case, right? So, yeah, that's the way I look at it. So think of it that way. The main prize money, the added, think of it as those are the points, right? And yeah, like some of those shopping supermarkets, used to get the cards with the points. You get you spend all that money and then you get like whatever 300 points, and you can use that for something later. I don't know. You get into the elite club of the shopping mall or something, and you can get special benefits or whatever. Think of it that way, right? Just think of them as points. So moving right along, let's take a look here. Here's an example of is it Aka from earlier. I took a screenshot. And this just shows you that little information in the right corner. And this is where you start looking at that when it comes to classifications and whatnot. Now, its class is open its added is 800 gil, and that's the money it's won by coming in first place. All right? But its total is 2,600 gil, and that is the money it's won by coming in first to third place. And it has 3 races and 2 wins. And you can sort of see that in the race history. I mean, the actual trainer is talking over it, but you can sort of see that, right? So yeah, it's won the first 2 and came in second. So there you have it. Yeah, so added 800 gil, and that determines its class. And the total 2,600 is how much money it has actually won. All right. So you figure that part out. Pretty straightforward. Now, how is it calculated, this added, this prize money, these points, to get to the next class? It is calculated the following way. First place prize in a race that is less than 1,200 gil, the added main prize money is 400 gil. Right. There you go. Okay. Plain and simple. So if the race is prize money is 1,100, you're still going to get 400 for your points if you win. If it is, I don't know, 900, you're still going to get 400. It's a flat 400 points, 400 gil. That's what you're getting, right? Now, first place prize in a race is more than 1,200 gil. Half of the first place prize money is counted as your class upgrade, I guess, as your points, right? So an example, let's say that first place prize money is 1,800 gil. The added main prize money will be 900 gil. Right. Okay. So that situation going on, right? So pretty straightforward. I don't, and as you get those, those extra points or the extra prize money that you don't actually physically receive, it's just the calculated one, you go up in rank. Right. But wait a minute. This is interesting. Why is Aka open class, but only 800 gil in the added? Yes. If you look, and I haven't really talked about it too much, but if you go back to that race class pyramid, you will see that in order to get into the open part, that's that top part of the pyramid, right? You've got to have at least 1,600 gil. What the heck? Or under, right? Or past that. You've got to make more than that, like 1,601, 1,602. So what the heck's going on here, right? And everything, by the way, from open special to G1, that's all considered open. And you can see that, right? So what is going on? That is a very good question. Well, let me answer that to you. Not only is it this added money in that pyramid, but there is age-based class requirements for the gil currency. So the actual answer is because Aka won at least one race at 3 years old before September, that will automatically classify your Chocobo as an open. Okay. Pretty wild, right? And you can see it. This is the schedule right here. This is the chart. You can take a screenshot of it, right? And as you see, 3-year-old debut to September. If you win at any of that, automatically you are in open. Okay. And there's a reason for that. Because in that time, there are a couple of G races for 3-year-olds in there, or at least one of that I know. And yeah, how are you going to qualify that if you don't have the open status? That's kind of strange. So right away. Okay. And then as you can see, things change a bit. As it progresses from 3-year-old October to 4-year-old May, now you've got to get at least 501 gil to classify as open, right? So there you have it, right? So, and then as it progresses, it actually gets more complicated. You need to get, in order to classify for 500 and under, at 5-year-old and onwards, you need 1,000. So it doubles as you get older, right? So you can figure all that out. But what is this deal? Well, like I said, Aka is open class and only 800 gil because it won a 3-year-old race before September of its 3rd year, when it's 3 years old. That's why. And here's the big thing. Once the Chocobo is an open class, it cannot be downgraded. So yeah, it doesn't matter. It's now open, it's official, boom, can't be downgraded. So just to make note of that. So what does that mean? Oh, automatically you can enter into G1s. Well, not necessarily. You saw what happened. That G class, my Chocobo didn't get accepted. And that's because certain G races do require you to have earned a certain amount of money as well. There are certain conditions, right? And certain G races, you have to have won a previous race. You hear this all the time. If you follow the Japanese Racing Association, for example, the Oka show, there's some qualifiers you can, to do that, like the Oaks or the Japanese Derby. There are certain races that you can have that you do in the past, and if you become first, second, or third in that race, it automatically puts you into the Derby or the Oka and that kind of thing. So you got to be mindful of that. Or if all these Chocobo are trying to get into that G2 or G1 or G3, and they all have more money than you do, they're going to kick you to the curb, right? Now, another thing is, you can enter races one class up from your class. You can do that. Right, but you cannot enter races below your class. So oh, hey, there's that special I want to do, and it's at the 1600. Sorry, you're open class. You can't. They won't let you do it, right? You're going to have to use another Chocobo that can do that. But you can, like I said, enter above your class. However, you might run into that same issue I just explained where you don't qualify. They'll kick you to the curb, right? Because you didn't make enough money. There are too many Chocobo that technically qualify past you. So, there's that factor to consider there. All right. So here is this whole race class pyramid. There are 3 types of races. First of all, there are the Heiba races, or in Chinese, it's the Pingchang, was that Dui or something like that? These are the new feathers that have never raced before. The maiden races that have not won, so they tried to race, it didn't win, right? The 500 and below gill, the below 900 gill, and the below 1600 gill. Now, they offer lower prize money and slightly weaker competition. And that's what I was mentioning earlier. A lot of my Chocobo are winning those and getting into the open, but once they get the G races or those open specials, they fall flat. And it's not their fault. I mean, they're just, not good enough. Or maybe they just haven't reached their peak yet. That's possible too. So, before what I can tell, you're going to need to really work on the pedigrees and the matchmaking for your Chocobo to get really strong Chocobo. And I'm going to talk about that, in another issue, in another episode. Probably the next one coming up. We're going to talk about the breeding, but not sure yet. I've already kind of covered it a bit. And breeding usually takes a while. Like, I'm going to have to really play this game, get my Chocobo retired, and then start doing my magic to, and to show and maybe edit a video. So it might take a bit. And to be honest with you, I kind of want to finish up these videos here because I want to move on to other stuff, right? I like it. Don't get me wrong. Chocobo is great. But this was not really supposed to be like a Let's Play, just sort of to show you how it works, right? Okay. Now, the second type are special races. And these are races that are an open class and they have more prize money. And they're not Gs. However, I believe G rank 3, 2s, and 1 are considered special races as well. The Tubia, the stakes, the cups, right? But there are certain ones that are open specials that are not G ranked, but they're a little bit better than your ones from the 1600 and under and all that category, but they're not as good as the Gs. So just to make mention of that. And then finally, you got your graded races. You got your G3s, your G2s, and your G1s. And these races are only in open class. So there's no other condition, right? They're open. And so there's that situation there. And like I said, this kind of thing you'll see in other Japanese horse racing games. So be mindful of it. A lot of the games follow, I would think, the JRA at the time rules. And it might vary. I haven't looked into it because a lot of these classic games, these retro ones, right, from the 90s, like I said, they did a lot of changing. Like they had, I think they called the what is it? I want to say Age of Reckoning or something like that. Reckoning Age or something they call it, where basically they changed the age of the horses. So like when a horse in the past was born, it's already 1 year old, right? And in Japan, but because they wanted to get more into the international scene, they had to follow the international rules, which mean technically no, it's a 0, right? And then it becomes 1, then 2, then 3. So yeah, that was the big thing. I was supposed to do a video on it, and if I can remember, I will. But that was a big one. And there's other things that happened too. They did a lot of rearranging of races. They got rid of some races. They upgraded others, that kind of thing. Yeah. So speaking of these G races, in Chocobo Stallion, there are 63 G3 races. There are 41 G2 races, and there are 20 G1 races. Now, I'm not going to talk about them. That's a lot. You can go onto a website, and I've left that link, and I'll probably, if I can remember, I'll leave the link in the description below. And that tells you all those G races. And it even shows you the GRA equivalent that was at that time, right? Because this was 1999. You know, it was like, time of recording, it's 26 years ago. Things change, right? So yeah. So there's that situation as well. So you can check it out. Is there anything else really to talk about? There was one more thing that I wanted to bring up that I have totally forgotten about. And that would have to do with the burden weight. And see if I can remember where I put that information. Well, you'll see it. It's going to be a chart that I'm going to put up. And basically, let me just read some information off. This is from the player's guide. Just you get an idea. Burden weight. What the heck is all this burden weight stuff? What are we talking about? Well, excuse me. Chocobo racing is, at its core, a competition for the enjoyment of spectators, although you don't really see them. And part of that, of course, is they're going to bet money, right? Right? Therefore, measures are taken to balance the abilities of the racing feathers and making the race outcomes harder to predict, right? So here comes the burden weight. Now, in horse racing, they generally have the horses, they add weight to it, like, you know, probably the same kind of weights that you lift or something to that effect. You know, they put on the side of the saddle or however they do that. Now, if you notice, the Chocobo don't have those. They run around pretty much, well, in their feathers. You know, I'm not going to say naked because they got the feathers, but yeah. So this is done through these gravity-based burden magic things called gravides. That's what they call them in this game. Right. Now, the table that I've got there shows how the gravide vary on the bird's age. Right. So yeah, so you can take a look at that. It's in Japanese, but you see there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, there's 6, there's 7 and up. You've got your male and your female feathers. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. +1, +2 gravides. And if you look at the races as the paddock, as they're going by, it'll show you how much of gravide burden weight that Chocobo has. Sometimes it's 0, sometimes it's 1, 2, sometimes 3. Because there are also other conditions as well. There are special weight races. Now, these ones, in these races, the gravide burden is determined based on the prize money earned by the racing bird and whether it has won high-grade races such as G1. Strong racing birds are given harsher handicaps, making it more difficult for them to win. So they're probably weighed down more. That's what the deal is. And then there are these ones called fixed weight races. Now, these races are run with burden weights set primarily by gender and age, similar to the chart. Right. However, the handicap applied differ from the standard burden weight used in age-based races. Prize money and past achievements are not considered. These are purely contests of ability. So there you go. So you've got special weight races and fixed. And they usually indicate that when you are signing up for races. And that's what I want to leave this on. I'm going to show you the information of how you sign up for all these races. Now, okay, I just pushed the wrong button. But as you can see here, I don't think, one way, of course, is if your actual trainer automatically does that. But as you can see, the trainer has not any races signed up, right? There isn't anything. So, okay. But I believe Noto, right? Okay, yeah, let's go out of that. Let's go to the office, make it a little easier. I think I can sign Note up for a race. We'll do that. So yeah, so let's go into the office, and let's go all the feathers, and let's select Note. Here's Note, the 4-year-old female. Okay, now Note's open class. Okay, and Note, I believe, is at, I have to double check, but I believe Note is at pretty top form at the moment, but I could be wrong on that. Let me just double check to make sure. Yeah, let me just take a look. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So Note is at top form at 11. So right now actually is a good time for it to race. So let's register for a race. So we're going to go here, and let's see if there's anything available. Now there's a 2000. There's another one here. Now we can't enter in any of these because they're 500s. But Note can enter into this because this is a female and it is 2000. But we can look at another racetrack. Here's a 1600. It can enter because it's an open. It's 4-year-old. These it can't because it's 5, unless maybe the condition allows for 4, which it doesn't. So some of these do. Like this one might allow for 5. No. Okay. And I believe there's another set here. Here's a 1200. Right. Dirt. Male and female. All right. So we're back to this again. So here it is. Here is this race right here. The Gravide is +2. It's the TR. I'm not too sure. What is the something Su Otensu TR G2? I don't know if it'll allow us, but we'll try. Yep. Register for this race, and there you go. Ish. Hopefully, there we are. Okay, he's all happy, but we'll see. Last time we got rejected. So, and there doesn't seem to be any conditions. Now, I'm not sure how she's going to do because she's not a 2000 distance. So, I don't expect anything exciting from this. But, yeah. So what I'll do here is very quickly I need to train all of my other feathers here. So we're going to do that before we go into the race. So yeah, so let's take a look here. So we'll have him do turf, and we'll have all out and eBay, which yeah, because we're trying to get. All right, good job. Oh, pretty happy there. So what does that mean? Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, what level is he at then? Yeah, that would be technically level. Getting up there, level 8, right? So yeah, we're at level 8 there. So okay, we're okay there. Okay, not sure about this level right here, but that's okay. We can do the training, and yeah, we will have dirt all out. Right. And the reason why I'm doing this is, as you can see, he's not doing too well, but that's okay. We're pushing, trying to get, trying to get Salad to do better. Here's another. This is Soup. Soup is Soup's like right at the top, I think, right? Or right at the bottom. I can't remember where Soup is. Soup's not the best condition-ish, or kinda. Yeah, Soup's at number 6 at the moment. So we'll have Soup. Yeah, we'll have it do dirt. We'll go dirt, pear, all out. Because I want to get. Oh, Soup's doing quite well. Soup's one of the ones that. Right. Okay. She was, or he was one that. Yeah, that's one we got registered for. We got that. And this is Ham. And Ham, I believe, is, where's Ham? Ham is at level 3. So we'll have Ham do a dirt run. We'll have him do dirt. I think it was dirt. There we go. All right, there's Ham. Okay. And this is a Cake. And Cake is at, where the heck's Cake? Cake is at level 7, it looks like. Okay. So let's get Cake doing a dirt. I think it's dirt. Well, it doesn't really matter. These guys, their levels, they're all about average. Cake is actually doing quite well. Cake might win a G. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Cake is still at the 400, so still at the 5. So we try to get Cake in a better position. I believe that was Akka. Yeah, we've already done that. Now let's go out of here. Let's see if there's any others that we need to train. I don't think so. My 2-year-olds, and yeah, I think, and all my feather 3-year-olds are in the hot tub having fun. So okay, so we're off to the races now. So there we have it. So now we will go to next week, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll let us participate. And looks like we can. Awesome. Here it is, the special. It's 12 feathers. This is our first one, known as number 11. And yeah, I'm not sure what the translation is, what the commentator is saying. But that commentator looks like there's a famous expert. Unfortunately, he's passed away. But I think they based, there's a show called Super Keiba on Japan, and I believe he's part of Super Keiba, or was when he was still alive. And this particular character, I don't know, looks like a kind of a frog. I think they based him on that, I would guess. But yeah, if you play the game Super Keiba and Super Keiba 2 for the Super Famicom, you'll see who I'm talking about. Yeah, here we go. Here's Noto. Noto is 6th. And something about the first feather, but yeah, he seems to give a positive. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Let's just move right along. I'm just going to hit the button. Yeah, this is considered the possible winner we just saw there. Okay. That's quite a lot. That's 9, 10. So yeah, you can just fast forward to 11 and then 12. There's 12 feathers. So we're full. A lot of feathers in this one. Okay, so yeah, the prediction is number 7, as you can see. They all say number 7 is going to do this. Now, mine has none. There's absolutely none. So what I'm going to do, I mean, yeah, all right. I'm actually going to bet against my own horse. I mean, or Chocobo. I mean, you got to bet. Like, you got to bet on that, right? I mean, that's like, they're all screaming for it. So let's take a look at the odds. We'll have Note run. Yeah, if I can get out of this. Okay, let's take a look at the odds. So yeah, Note's at 16.9. That particular number 7, Chocobo, yeah, number 7, is at 2.5. Right. So that's a given. So let's bet on number 7. Yeah, because that's number 8, not number 7. Obviously, we're gonna bet on that. Okay, number 7, 3, 6. We'll bet 10. Yeah, number 7. Yeah, there we go. 9, and that'll give us what, 20,000. Number 7, lucky 7. Yeah, let's do 12. Let's just go for it. 12. I'll give us 12. Right. So now you get 12. So now what we'll do is let's put money down on our Chocobo, which is Noto, number 5, and we will bet on 5 to place. Actually, hold on a sec. Let's take a look at the place odds. Yeah, because the place odds, yeah, you will get some money back. I can't see Note winning. Like I said, I didn't expect it. I mean, you got those kind of circles. Yeah, I suggest you bet on that, Chocobo. All right, what was it? Number, what was it again? Number 5, okay. Number 5, go replace. Number 5, and we'll do a, yeah, we'll do a 3,000. All right, so there you go. Okay, and we're off to the races. There you go, special G2. It is, what is that? The Otensun TR. I'm not sure what it's equivalent to. It is in the Tian Kong Palace, I guess. The Sky Palace or something. So, and I haven't done anything about the different kind of tracks. I figure you guys can figure that out. So there's our guy. There is Noto. Now I know Note's good at gate. Not very good at backstretch, but I believe Noto has guts. One of them, it's got a couple that are 2s, and I don't have Noto's notes in front of me, so there you go. There's our Choco. I don't expect our Choco to actually win. Number 7 probably will. As you see, he's already kind of faltering behind. I do like where our Choco is. Now, if the Chocobo wins, that's awesome. That's great. We lost all that money, but I'll take the win, you know? But that being said, yeah, we'll see. Oh, wait a minute. Did we bet on number 7? He's pretty far behind. This is surprising how the Chocobo Noto was, I believe, is supposed to be a closer, yet running in a front. I didn't tell him to run front. I just said, do your thing. So, who knows? Maybe he's going to prove us wrong. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's starting to kind of fall behind, it looks like. Well, we'll see. You never know. I mean, it's a long race. And unfortunately, you can't fast forward this one like you can in other ones. I was playing Shukun Gallup Bloodmaster, and if you press the circle button, you can fast forward the race. So, and man, it'd be cool to see that commentary. But that's pretty straightforward, I guess, for AI, you know. Here we go. This is it. Okay, come on, Noto. Yeah, here we go. There's that, you can see there's that black feather, number 7. You can see there he is. Oh, Noto's trying. Yeah, but it's way too late. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know, we might lose the money. I mean, it's pretty neck and neck there. You know he got it. Yeah, see, there's no, yeah. Like I explained, I didn't expect Note to win. And that's probably because if I could look at the pedigree or look at the condition or the guild price for number 7, that one, yeah, it would have probably been pretty good. And we won a lot of money off of that. Yeah, we won 30,000. I mean, we did lose that 3,000, but that's okay. And there's that 35 gil we're talking about. That's that, account fee. So, kind of felt bad. I was betting against my my Chocobo, but it is what it is. That's the way the game is. There's the Dirt TR apparently coming up as well next time around. So, now one more thing before I go. If you want to take a look, you're only allowed to book a week, like right then and there that week. You can't book in advance. Like if you want to book something in a few weeks, you can't do it in Chocobo Stallion. You can. In other ones, you can. I think Derby Stallion you can. I know in Breeding Stud and a few others you can book like well in advance, but in this one you can't. So if you want to take a look at what the other races are like, go to the office and select this guy right here, because this is the race schedule. Now this schedule will show you all the months. Sometimes it doesn't do it. Like I thought maybe the left and rights, but it doesn't. Just the using the direction, the D-pad, and then you can check it out. The different ones. Like let's pull this one for example. This is this is week 4, and I'm not sure where that is, but it's a 1200. And here you have the information on it. It's a G3, 4-year-olds, short race. Both male, female. It's on turf. The Gravide, if it's, it looks like if the feather is 1 in the 1200 or so, yeah, it gets a +1. So you can see they do stuff like that, right? They've got information. What if there's any of them? Here's a G1. This G1 here, 4 and 5-year-olds. Females, -2 for the grab. So I guess any female race, if it's an older female, like you can see there, 5 and up is +5, but if you're female, it's -2, so it's only 3. So yeah, and then you can see how much that's 9,400 gil. That's actually a lot of gil, but yeah. So there you have it. And some of these will say if they're qualifiers for certain races or something. I'm trying to see if any of them. Again, I'm not 100% sure, right? But some of these will be qualifiers for G1s and stuff like that. So you get the idea. So you can go around and looking at the schedule, and you don't have to worry. This is probably your best bet. Or you can look on that website I was telling you about. It's in Japanese, but you can use like Google Translate, and it'll help you out. So there you have it. Yeah, awesome. So there we go. I'll just get back here to this screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on with training these guys, getting my 3-year-olds, retiring some. Am I going to do another video? I want to, definitely. I mean, I'd like to. Like I said, it's not really a let's play. Sort of like let's try it out and goof around with it. You know, let's play on this is too much. So there you have it. Next episode, if I do it, will be on the breeding side. And I'll show you how that works with things like the cross. It's called inbreed, but it's cross. I talk about that a little bit in another video that I'm going to be producing for Chocobo Gallup Bloodmaster. I talk about that if you want to check that out. And yeah, if you want, there's a whole bunch of videos on my site currently. Time of recording, I'm doing the Derby Stallion. Not Derby Stallion. I'm doing Derby Jockey as for the jockey game. Derby Stallion, not yet. Working on this first. I got Chocobo, got Chocobo Gallup, got Disc Derby in there. Yeah, also Barcode Tyson Bardigan, which is a barcode game. So I've got a bunch of things happening there. But thank you very much for watching, and please like, subscribe, comment. That would be really cool. You know, encourage me to make more of these awesome videos. And I will see you in the next video.